So today I need to share two useful tips that you need to practice in your life to win an argument without hurting others as well as without hurting yourself. This great advice was given by our great Arahant Sariputta. He was the chief disciple of our great teacher Supreme Buddha. So he was the great person who gave us this great advice. Our great Arahant Sariputta says, if you have been accused by someone, if you are in an argument, you need to practice these two tips. Number one, first of all, you got to be cool. You need to stay cool always. It means you should not be angry. Because whenever your mind is covered or controlled by anger, Supreme Buddha taught us, if you speak out of that anger, your words are evil. So the evil words may hurt yourself as well as to the others. And if you act out of anger, those actions will be also evil. So those actions will cause damage for others as well as for you. So first thing that you have to do when you have been accused is to be cool, to be patient. Right? Don't be panicked. Don't act out of anger. You need to control your emotions. If you can control your anger, you are a great person. Because many people in this world, they cannot control their anger. They just let the anger to pass out of them. They act in anger, they speak out of anger. Don't let that happen to yourself. Because anger is not something that you should be happy with yourself. Anger is a failure. Anger is a fault. And also remember, the people who are being angry always are weak. So you should control your emotions and you should stay cool whenever you are being accused. That is the first thing that you should do. And the second tip is you should always speak the truth. Now, normally when we get into a trouble, when we are in an argument, when we are being accused by someone, normally people tend to speak lies, right? Because they like to escape from that problem by telling a lie. Remember, never ever lie in an argument. If something that has happened, if a mistake has happened by yourself, you need to say that I have done this. I admit this and I admit my fault and I will correct it. So you need to stay in the truth always, right? Never ever lie. Because sometimes if we lie in an argument, if we lie when we are being accused, we have to say 10 more lies to cover that, to protect that lie, to save that lie. If you tell the truth, right, you don't need to remember anything anymore, right? So if you speak the truth, you don't want to remember anything. Just you say the truth and let the things happen to yourself after telling the truth. Let it happen. Because bitter truth is better than sweet lies. So what you have to do, always speak the truth. Don't ever lie, right? So it will make a depression inside you, right? You need to remember everything that you said in that argument. So you need to speak this truth always. So these are the two tips to win an argument. Because if you speak truth, remember, the person who is accusing you may blame you, or you will get into a trouble in your life. But remember, after that argument, after that accusation, you will win the trust of that person. Because he may start to think, this person had the opportunity to tell a lie and escape from that problem, but he did not do that. And he will get that idea that you are a person that who always speak the truth. So it is better to have the trust of the people around you. So what you have to do? You have to speak the truth. As well as if you stay cool, people will like you very much, because no one likes to be with an angry person. No one likes to associate an aggressive person. Always people like to associate people who are very cool, people who are not getting angry very much. So what you have to do in your life, practice these two tips to win an argument. If you practice and if you master these two tips in your life, I am very sure that you can win many arguments, you can win many problems in your life when you are dealing with people, as well as you will win the trust of the people around you. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. As humans, we all know that we make mistakes in our life. Mistakes are a common part of all of our lives. But do you know what most unsuccessful people do when they make mistakes? They point their mistakes to the outer world, saying that this mistake was happened because of that person, because of that thing, and because of this outer world. They do not admit their fault. Do you know what most successful people do when they make mistakes? They admit their mistakes and they move on. Remember, if you admit your mistakes, if you accept your mistakes and you start to move on, you will start to grow. You will start to develop your qualities. That is why Supreme Buddha said, these purity and impurity entirely depends on you. You are the author of your life story. That is why Supreme Buddha said, by one's own misdeeds and evil deeds, one becomes impure. By one's own wholesome deeds, he will become pure. Purity and impurity entirely depends on oneself. No one can purify another. So that means the purity and impurity entirely depends on you. If you do mistakes, if you do misdeeds, if you do evil things, those results of those mistakes is yours. If you do a wholesome thing, if you choose to do good, those good consequences of those actions also yours. So what you have to do is, you should always choose to do good things in your life. So how to choose always to do the good things? Remember, Supreme Buddha said, when a thought appears inside your mind, you need to consider whether this thought is good or bad, whether this thought is helpful for me and to the others, or whether this thought is going to distract my inner peace and the inner peace of others. If it is a good thought, if it is going to help you and to the others, you need to make it to an action. You need to do it again and again. And if it is an evil thought, you need to stop doing it. You need to avoid that evil thought. That is how you choose the difference between the good and bad, and that is how you choose to do always the good things. I know choosing to do always the good things is very hard. But remember, doing hard things makes our life easy tomorrow. Because all the good things, all the good achievements, all the wholesome things in this world are hard. We need to admit that. So do what is hard, do what is good, always choose to do good, and one day you can be happy about your life. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai. So first of all, we need to know that kindness itself is not a weakness. Kindness is a virtue. It is a great quality that you can have in your mind. But people consider the people who become kind to others, people who are very compassionate to others, are weak. But that is not the reality. So how can you be kind without being weak? So it reminds me a wonderful discourse in Supreme Buddha's teachings. In that discourse, it says, if you can maintain your patience when you are powerful than the other person, if you can maintain your inner peace when someone complains you or someone hurts you, even though you are more powerful than that person, that is the greatest patience that you can have in your life. So, being patient, being silent, doesn't define that you are weak. So, how to be kind and how to be patient without being weak? So, you should not go to the arena of negativeness. It means you should not be patient out of fear. And you should not go to the arena of aggressiveness. That means you should not be aggressive to others. Instead, you can be assertive. You should not be negative and you should not be aggressive. Instead, you can be assertive. So what do you mean by assertiveness? Assertiveness means being kind and maintaining your inner peace without being aggressive, and still you can be confident. If you can be confident as well as if you can be kind to others, that is what you call the assertiveness. So, when you be kind to other person, that does not mean that you are weak. So what you have to do when you become kind, you have to be wise also. So the kindness mixed with wisdom is the best kindness. You can be kind. If those people, if those evil people or toxic people comes to you and start hurting you again and again, you have to take yourself back. You can stay away from those people. You should not fall into the same trap again and again. Instead, you can be away from them. And that is what you call the assertiveness. So, in your life, you should be kind as well as wise. When you become kind and as well as wise, you become assertive. That is what the real kindness is. So don't let anyone to control your inner peace. Don't let anyone to change your emotions and make you sad. Instead, you should be assertive. You should maintain your inner peace and be confident and be patient and be kind to them, but never ever be angry and hurt others. Namo Buddhaya, Thiruvon Saranai.